Yes, Keith.
Thanks, guys. Canelo, can you tell us more about your hand injury? When you hurt your hand, was it hurt going into the fight? And how did it get worse during the fight?
Hairs everywhere. I had these issues since the Khaled Plant fight. So, and I like, it's okay, later. And then I have really started really bad. And I need surgery.
How badly did it hurt you during the fight?
Really bad.
It's broken, right? You think it's broken?
No, it's not broken. It's like a
Meniscus.
meniscus.
It's a wrist injury.
Yeah,
Wrist.
but it's not broken. It's my wrist. You need like a
Ligament-
clean
ligaments
meniscus.
in
It's
the
like
wrist.
something like that. Derek, can you explain, please?
Yeah,
Come on.
Canelo, how long do you think that it'll keep you out? I mean, do you have an idea if you have surgery, how long it might keep you out of the
Keith,
ring?
You can ask this
Oh,
is doctor. Yeah. And explain the injury.
Cyril has a TFCC tear, which is a piece of cartilage within the wrist, which affects the body's ability to mobilize that joint without feeling impingement and sharp pain. If he has a surgery, depending on what the surgeon decides, probably 6 to 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the rehabilitation, if it's successful.
But I'm gonna take my time. My body needs, and last year I fought 4 times in 11 months, so that's why. But I need to take my time a little bit, maybe in May, September, I don't know. But I need to take my time.
Thanks, Canelo. Just have one last question for you. What did you think of the scoring of the fight? Most people seem to think you won by much wider margins than that.
I don't hear the score really. I just hear an steel champion and that's it. Look, I respect the judges and they see that it's fine. I'm okay. A win is a win.
Right here, Canelo. Dan Rayfield here. Congratulations on the victory. My question for you is, you've now had 3 fights with Gennady. The first 2, whatever people think of the results of each fight, they were considered highly controversial, whether they thought you won or a draw or that he won. Tonight was the first time where there seems to be clear agreement that whatever the scores were, close or not, you were the clear winner. Can you describe your satisfaction of finishing the trilogy and doing so by having a result in a fight that nobody is going to dispute, that you were the better man tonight, that you were the rightful winner of the fight?
La verdad es que es una satisfacción muy grande, a pesar de, como lo acabo de decir, de todos los problemas que tuve, es una satisfacción muy grande porque pude demostrar, obviamente no llegó el knockout como quería, porque es un gran peleador, pero para eso son los 12 asaltos, para demostrar quién es mejor. Pude demostrar que soy mejor peleador y me siento muy contento.
It's hugely satisfying to win, as you've said, despite all my problems that I had. I demonstrated in the ring today. Obviously, I wanted to get that KO, but it didn't come because he's a great fighter. But I was able to show, that's why there are 12 rounds in a fight, so you can show and display who's the best. So I'm really happy with what I've done tonight.
Y con mi mano así como la traigo, le ganaba el jab a uno de los mejores jab en la historia del boxeo, que es el de Golovkin.
And, with my problems, my hand problems, I out-jabbed the best jabber in the world in Gennady Golovkin.
You guys were hugging and kissing like you were best friends. And I wonder, how does that go in your mind that you can go from having that kind of bad feeling to now it's just gone like
Look,
the wind?
I respect him as a fighter, no? As a person, I don't know. But I'm not gonna put in that level because I consider myself a good person. So I say to him, I'm glad to share the ring with you, and we give the people 3 good fights. So, and I'm glad to share the ring with him and have this 3 fights is going to be in the history of boxing.
Antes que nada, felicidades por la demostración de esta noche. Y la primera sería, hoy se termina una trilogía con lo que es tu némesis. Siempre Canelo será recordado con Triple G y viceversa. Es tu némesis. La sensación de dejar en claro quién domina esta trilogía, pero más allá, la sensación de saber que ya no lo vas a enfrentar. Se acabó el odio en el terreno deportivo. ¿Lo vas a extrañar?
La verdad es que muy contento y agradecido de poder compartir el ring con un peleador como Golovkin, uno de los mejores en la historia del boxeo. Y pues a lo mejor sale por ahí otro peleador, ¿no? Y obviamente siempre vamos a recordar estas 3 peleas que tuvimos y siempre lo voy a respetar como peleador. ¿Por qué? Porque es un gran peleador.
So the question was, first and foremost, congratulations on your victory against, what we could say has been your nemesis over these years. But today you went on to beat your opponent, Gennady Golovkin, in clear style. But are you going to miss that kind of hatred that you had with him going forward? And Sal's answer was, to be honest, I'm really happy that I managed to beat one of the best fighters in the world in Gennady Golovkin, and perhaps in the future another fighter will come along I'll have a similar relationship with. We had 3 great fights, and I respect him as a fighter.
Canelo, what was it like for you in there? Obviously, in the first 2 fights, it seemed like every minute was so competitive. All those rounds were so close. And yet in this fight, you sweep 6 of the first 7 rounds. I mean, a lot of us had you winning like 11 of these rounds. Were you expecting more from Golovkin this fight? And what do you think prevented him from being the same Golovkin?
Look, what I feel, he don't throw his right hand because maybe he think I'm gonna counter punch him. Maybe that's why he only throw the left hand, and I just did my job. And it was very difficult to hit him too, because he's like protect everything, It's very difficult.
El combate, tu primera declaración, también fue ese tema, el mensaje introspectivo, del mensaje de que vienes de algo que te pasó, que algo te estás viviendo, que algo padeces. Eres una de las principales figuras, sin duda alguna, de México, y eres de las principales figuras del boxeo en estos momentos del mundo. ¿Qué te está pasando, Saúl? ¿Sigue siendo esta parte de la purga, de a lo mejor de la derrota de Bivol? Algo que dices, porque tienes que rezar con la humildad, dices, hay que hacerlo con humildad. Perdiste el piso al tener todos estos reflectores, algo está pasando. ¿Cuál es ese sentimiento, si nos lo puedes compartir? Gracias.
Mira, yo me siento que nunca he perdido el piso, he sido la misma persona. Obviamente cambia tu estilo de vida y todo lo que quieras, siempre he sido la misma persona, pero tampoco, quizás eso es lo que yo pienso, quizás a lo mejor lo perdí en algún momento y no me di cuenta, ¿no? Entonces, pero más que nada tienes que ver los errores o qué es lo que no tienes que hacer. Te ayuda mucho, como lo he dicho, una derrota te ayuda a aprender, te ayuda, o sea, es buena, de repente es buena, ¿no? Tienes que saber qué no hacer, qué desechar, qué hacer para mejorar. Y creo que lo más, no me gusta entrar en detalles, porque eso es mío, ¿no? Pero si no, con gusto te lo compartiría. Pero creo que lo más importante aquí, o más bien lo que sería malo, es que te valga madre perder. Perdiste. Como hombre hay que aceptarlo. Tienes que ver qué es lo que tienes que cambiar, para qué, para mejorar y regresar fuerte. Así es la vida.
The question was about, first and foremost, congratulations on your victory. Straight after the fight, you were talking kind of in a retrospective way, talking about kind of having gone through difficult times, and as a Mexican fighter, you're right up there. You're one of the most important. You talked about humility, and you talked about different things. Was it that you'd gone down the wrong path, or could you go a bit more into detail on that? And Sal's answer was, no, I didn't feel like I lost track of where I was going. Maybe it happened and you didn't realize it, because sometimes you're not able to see your errors. But, defeats are a good thing sometimes, because you know how to come back and you know not what to do in terms of having to get better. So, I think it was very important for me. And then, as a man, I had to accept it and to see the changes that you have to make. And that's life.
I'm sorry to ask you this after you go a hard 12 rounds about what's next, but we know you have talked about the Bivol rematch next, but you've also said you hope Ramirez wins that fight. And if Ramirez wins that fight, you don't want to fight him because you're both Mexican. So at 68, the best fight looks like you and Benavidez. He's born in America. He's half Ecuadorian. So does he count as Mexican, or that fight can happen if in the future?
I don't know. Anything can happen,
But that won't be a reason why I can hold it up that he's Mexican. That
like when I guys, always I say this. You share that video and put whatever you want. When I say I don't want to fight Mexican, it's because I represent Mexico, and that's why. But I don't care. I fight anybody, and I fight my entire life anybody. What do you think? I don't want to fight with Juan Mexico or Benavidez. But look, I hear his dad talking a lot of shit. But look, he's accomplished nothing. One single champion, Anthony Dirrell. Please, don't disrespect myself. Please, guys. Cuando digo que no peleo con mexicanos es porque siento que yo represento a México. Ellos pueden pelear entre mexicanos, ¿por qué? Porque no es lo mismo que yo. Y no quiero sonar arrogante ni mucho menos, pero yo represento a mi país en todo el mundo. Por eso lo digo. Pero he peleado con los mejores del mundo. Ahora sí, como dice la canción, a los mejores del mundo me les he pegado un tiro. Entonces he hecho muchas cosas en el boxeo. ¿Por qué crees que no voy a pelear con un Benavidez o con un? Por favor, no lo hagas. Ahora, escuché al papá diciendo tantas cosas que no tengo por qué hacerle caso, que malas palabras y ofendiéndome. Pero ¿qué ha hecho su hijo? Peleando con un campeón del mundo nada más en la vida y con todos los demás peleadores perdedores. No me falten al respeto con eso, por favor. Siempre, toda mi vida han dicho, ay, que no quiere pelear con este, peleo, le gano y ahora otro, y siempre sale otro. No falten al respeto a mi carrera porque he hecho muchísimas cosas y he peleado con lo mejor del mundo desde que tengo razón.
Canelo, sobre lo que decías de que te vas a dar tiempo para recuperar tu cuerpo, se entiende que para ir por un reto como el de la revancha con Bivol se necesita estar al 100 y pudiera ser, no sé, a lo mejor más allá de mayo. Si se extiende ese tiempo, ¿te gustaría que algunos de estos peleadores, no solo Benavidez, que llevan rato retándote, aprovechen el tiempo para enfrentarse entre ellos?
Ellos pueden hacer lo que se les dé chingada gana, a mí me vale madre. O sea, si quieren pelear entre ellos, que peleen. Si no, pues me vale. Al final de cuentas, yo voy a pelear con quien yo quiera pelear.
So the question there was, you've mentioned that you're going to need time to recover. I suppose.
No more question because I'm a little mad and I'm tired. Thank you.
Okay. So the question was, about, you'll obviously need some more time to recover, but thinking about the Bivol rematch and possible other rivals as well, would you like fighters like Benavidez and other fighters to fight amongst themselves? And Sal's answer was, they can do whatever they want. At the end of the day, I'm not bothered who they fight. They can do whatever they want.
I don't fucking care.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have
Gracias.
champion?
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Sí, le dije, estaban diciendo que quería comprar las Chivas, imagínate, y apenas te conocí hoy.
Наверное, да, все-таки была ошибка с моей стороны, немножко стратегически, да, начать все потихоньку. Но опять же, хотелось бы посмотреть, как пойдет бой, как начнет развиваться. В принципе, да, мы оба так легко начали и как-то с разведки, и как-то это все затянулось. Когда все разошлось, то есть уже было поздно.
Probably it was a tactical mistake on my part to start slow. But on the other hand, we wanted to see how the fight is going to develop, both of us. So I believe we both started rather slowly, did some reconnaissance, and that reconnaissance probably went too long for me.
My other question for you, Gennady, is that the scorecards were close. Two of the scorecards were close, 115, 113 on two cards, 116, 112 on the other. What did you think of the scoring? And before the scores were read, were you expecting it to be as close as it was on the cards?
Я, наверное, не вправе все равно говорить о судействе. Да, думал я, не думал. Я не думал о судействе, я делал свою работу просто. Судьи, если приняли такое решение, значит, это их взгляд на это все.
I believe that it's not up to me to talk about scoring. I just did my job, and if judges came up with those scores, that's their decision.
Question for you, Gennady, is there are so many years of this rivalry, the bad blood on both sides, you both saying bad things about each other, wanting to knock each other out, and then within 2 seconds when the fight was over, you fall into an embrace, everything washes away, everything seems like you're friendly again. I wonder if you could just explain or impart upon us, how does that happen where you can have that kind of animosity and that kind of feeling for somebody, go through these 3 fights, and then immediately it's like everything is okay?
Ну, я скажу за себя, да, за себя. Я же не говорил всегда то, что я не чувствовал ту враждебность. Я, как бы, он переходил это все на личное, переводил. То есть я же ему всегда говорил, ну, если у тебя есть личное, почему ты ждешь? Ну, то есть, когда ты проявляешь. И в этот момент, когда закончился бой, то есть, глядя друг другу в глаза, то есть, то есть у него не было претензий ко мне, у меня не было претензий к нему. То есть мы обнялись и обоюдно сказали, поздравили друг друга, обоюдно поздравили и сказали прекрасный бой, ну, в этом плане. И все как-то само собой наладилось. Ну, то есть это, наверное, то отношение, то, когда ты на высоком уровне и понимаешь, насколько опасен ты вид спорта, и он так проходит. То есть, скажем так, мы оба остались довольными теми отношениями, что между нами сложились.
Let me speak for myself. I've always said that I did not feel any animosity in our rivalry. He was the one who said that it was personal, and my response to that was, why would he waited so many years for this fight to happen? But after the fight, when we looked each other in the eye, we had no claims towards each other anymore, and we congratulated each other. We said, excellent fight, and we moved on because we realized that at this level, this sport is so dangerous, and we were very content with how this fight played out and how our rivalry ended.
To ask you, when you get home to the beach at age 40, do you think at all that you will be tempted to reflect upon the fact that you have your health, you just got a massive payday for fighting Canelo again, and you are a champion, and that you may call it a career at that point? Will that run through your mind at all?
Однозначно да, потому что я скажу так, наверное, во мне вот эта вот страсть к боксу еще пока не остыла. В данный момент у меня 3 пояса в 160, мне надо решать свои вопросы. И, ну, я думаю, даже скажу, может быть, немножко громко, я неплохо себя чувствовал, и если вы видели, как бы я, в принципе, даже не пропускал, и не устал, то есть я показал, что еще есть силы, чему я очень рад. Где бы я бы ни находился, я, конечно, буду думать о том, как вернуться и с каким настроем.
Indeed, I still have this fire burning within me. I have this ardor and passion for boxing. And don't forget that I have 3 belts in 160. I feel great, like I said. I did not allow any serious shots. and I'm not tired, I'm fresh, I feel the strength, I feel the power within me, and of course, if opportunity comes, I'll be looking to continue to return on the ring.
Congratulations, Gennady, on a good performance. You just said you have 3 belts at 160, but you look great at 168. Do you plan on moving back down and continuing your career at 160?
Ну, опять же, все будет зависеть от предложения в 168, но в данный момент у меня 3 пояса в 160, мне надо будет как-то решать свои проблемы. Ну, не проблемы, а вопросы в 160.
Well, it will all depend on offers that I might receive. At the same time, I have 3 belts at 160, like I just said, so I have certain obligations in connections with that.
Gennady, this is Alejandro Ramirez. This is your 3rd fight with Canelo. Fighting at 168, did you feel Canelo stronger, bigger, or anything? Or did you feel any difference from this fight from the others?
Нет, наверное, ну как, я не хочу сейчас, да, то есть принижать его победу. Да, он выиграл. Что он выглядел сильнее или быстрее, нет, абсолютно этого не почувствовал. Да, скажу так, что он, наоборот, как-то не доносил свои удары, то есть его скорость или его сила, то есть во второй половине. То есть первую половину мы практически не боксировали, вторую половину началось, когда это все какой-то контакт, то есть ничего уже не ощущалось. То есть ничем он меня не удивил в 168.
Well, I don't want to belittle his victory, but at the same time, I did not feel that he was any faster or stronger. The shots that reached were not strong enough, and in the second half, he even lost in speed and power, and I think that even in the beginning we did not fight much, like both of us. You could see that like the number of shots thrown were like less than in the second half. But again, I would say no surprises for me at all.